Hello. Welcome back. It's a Friday. It's 11 a.m., which means it's time for You Can't Do That on Salesforce. Today's episode, Org Pong. Oh, let's have fun with a project that I wanted to do a while ago. I did a couple episodes about HTTP callouts and flow, and at that time it was really new. It had some of the you could only do callouts to get data. You couldn't send data anywhere. But I thought it would be cool if you could do that. So let's try it now that we actually have the ability to do both gets and posts and puts and everything else that you could do with HTTP callouts. Let's do it with Flow because see, we don't have to write any code with the bad ideas that I'm about to subject everyone to, and do it as a game. Right? Like maybe we figure out how might Salesforce play Pong or ping pong. I like Pong better. It's more like video game style. How can two Salesforce orgs play Pong with one another? And let's see what we can do, right? So I'm just trying to do a little housekeeping here before we make a mess of. Let's try to clean up my screens before I make a mess of things. We might need to monkey around with some Scratch orgs too, which I know is not the most exciting thing in the world, but hey, hang out and have a chit chat while we watch the grass grow with some Scratch orgs. I was also something came up before I started the show that said, hey, this is not installed or something. The usual Apple installation voodoo, some app that I couldn't get working. I'm just going to try this one more time before we get the shoe on the rood. Okay. Okay. Maybe that worked. I don't know. Anyway, where to begin? We need two orgs. If we're going to play Pong, we're going to need a couple Salesforce orgs. And to get a couple Salesforce orgs, I think we're going to get a couple of Scratch orgs together. So let's try to do that. I'm basically just stalling so I can clear my desktop. There's a lot out here. What a mess. Almost ready. One more, I think. Here we go. All right, now we can turn the screen on. Maybe. Doot. Hello. Doot, doot, doot. That's me. Okay. Turn that off. Good to go. Okay. We need Visual Studio Code. We need some new windows. We need two Scratch orgs, and I need to figure out what Dev Hub to connect them to. I also need to let my dog in apparently because he, can't live without me, which is cute, but There we go. Mission accomplished. Where are you gonna sit, man? Okay. Going in doggy bad. Turn this up a little bit too, a little brighter. Okay, org number 1. Let's figure out what dev hub we can put these in. Let's create a new project. I call it Pong 1. Here's a 1. Update, we'll do that later. Let's make a new window. Another project. Pong 2. And there we go. All right, 2 orgs. Not really orgs yet because we got to figure out our dev hub situation here. Let me see. Let's see. SF org list, I think. All right, what do we got? I got lots of dev hubs. dev hub 2. Which one do we want to use? I got 4 scratch orgs running, which means I probably have a room for 1 or 2 more, because I think you can have 3 active, I think. So maybe I got room for 1 more or 2 more in one of these orgs. Which one's my default? That's interesting. It doesn't tell me what my default dev hub is. I probably have to declare it. But let's log into each of these dev hubs and see what's going on. Where are we going? We're going to Salesforce. Find my credentials. Last pass to the rescue. Let's see what we got in our first dev hub here. I probably could close out some of these projects too. Okay. Very exciting new release. Oh, we need a new password. Okay. That sounds fine. Nope. So many pop-ups. It's like the late 90s called. They want all their pop-up ads back. Let's fix that so I don't lose the password. Okay, what is going on in my dev hub here? This org has what? Active Scratch org is... Doesn't really say. Oh wait, we can cross-reference the 3232J. So this is YCDTools. Yeah, we don't really need that one. And if that's the only active one in there, I mean, we can just use. I think that was the only active one. YCDTools was a project that I didn't really get started. You might be surprised to know that I kind of have ideas and then start things and then, have other ideas or distractions, but it's just how the brain works, I guess. Okay, so I guess the point is we got room in our dev hub, this one, to put a couple of projects in. So I will now try to remember, by way of using the internet, how to set your default dev hub. This is a config setting, I think. Set target dev hub equals stuff. So this is Pong 2. Let's move this out of the way. This is Pong 1. Let's start with Pong 1. Put this out here, and then let's grab, I think I can just use the name, right? I think that's how it works. Done. While we're here, let's do it in hub 2. Done. Okay. All right, Pong 1 and Pong 2 kind of exist. What we need is a scratch org for each of these. "30 days. Do it." Let's make one over here. Same there. What does that look like over here? Does it show us that they're being created? Nope. All right. All right, so we got Pong 1, we got Pong 2. So what are we going to do? Really what we're going to end up with here is, I think, like an app, or at least some components, right? A bunch of metadata that we take from one org and we put it in the other org, and somehow we play a game of Pong, whatever Pong might represent from one side to the other. So I guess we have to figure that out. We have to let these orgs talk to each other. So we're going to have to do a little like connected app auth provider mojo here to get them talking back and forth. So we'll step through that. And then I think it's like, probably a flow that can send and receive. So I think we're going to end up with is maybe an inadvertent infinite loop of of sends and receives between these two. What could possibly go wrong, right? That should be totally fine. And we can at least observe that. So maybe we got to figure out some data that we should send back and forth, and call it a Pong thing or something like that. So that's my really complex design document for this project. But basically, we're just going to see if what kind of trouble we can cause by getting two orgs batting data back and forth to each other. Let's start in Pong 1, and then we'll move stuff into Pong 2. Pong 1 will kind of define what we're up to here. And so what are we going to need? We need something that indicates what we're doing, what our app's going to be. And if I recall the last show, we have some code that did exactly that. And was that in? Maybe that was in my tools app. Is that right? Let's see. Yep. Hey, that's what this org was for. So last week's show built some scripts to generate stuff that we would need for usually like my standard loadout for app dev. So let's haul that in over here. Let's see, what did we have? We had scripts, app maker. Can I do this? What's it going to think about this across? Hey, okay. Let's drop you in there. There we go. All right, so the point of all of this stuff is to hopefully make it quicker to kind of scaffold out the typical app development steps that I take. I have, I'm opinionated. This is the way I prefer to do it. But let's try it out. So last week we just sort of played with it in an org that was already there, and it, lo and behold, made metadata for us and stuff. So now let's see how it actually goes. Nope, I don't need to save that. So what did we have to do? We had a few calls that we made. Our app maker scripts, create an app. I think that was the one that we had set up, and then it does all of this. Did we get to objects? I don't think we got to objects. Or did we? No, we got an object there. So how did we create objects? Maybe we didn't. Let's see. Last week maybe I made the object. I think that could have been it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we had that set up the whole way. That's okay. We can use this a little bit, at least set up our app, and have that all good to go. So what do we passed some stuff on the. Yep, just label, name, color for the app, and let's call it org Pong, I guess. So we'll start that over here, and let's see, where are we? Okay, we want to get into scripts, and list that, app maker, and okay, so we want a node. Oh, we probably need to install this, right? I don't think, I did bring all the modules over. Is it going to work? I don't know. Node, create app, and we're going to pass in, let's see, label, org Pong, the name. So the API name should be same thing, no spaces, and a color, because why not? What do we pass in for the color? I think it's just a hex number. Yep. That's bright red, I think. Okay. And what happened? No such file. Open ... /force. Ah, okay. Well, that's interesting. It's not interesting. It's not working because stuff is not there. So we would need our script to create that folder if it doesn't exist. But I'm gonna cheat here a little bit, and we'll make a few things in here. I think it made the app, yeah, and it couldn't make the permission set group because there was no way to. Did it make the permission set? Yep, it did make that. So it just needs to make the group. And we can do that all over again. Doesn't take much. Delete those. We need a permission set groups folder. That's a good add, though. We should do some checks in here. We want to make sure check that folder path. We'll check this folder path and this folder path. Get a bunch of them by default with the project. We create a new DX project, but we don't get them all, so that's okay. We'll do that later. Hit it again. Okay, so we got our app. We got our permission set. We got our app. We got our permission set group, which should reference that permission set. Cool. That kind of kicks off the app situation. So let's push everything that we've got here into the org. Okay, so we should now have an app in our Pong org. Have I been in there yet? I don't think so. Let's open up the Pong 1 org. All right, so in Pong 1, did our stuff make it? Yep. The app name is okay. I forgot to use quotes, so now the app is named org instead of org Pong. That's okay. We'll fix. All right. So we got that. Did we get our permission set? So each of these will be is going to be a little off. I just realized, because of the name, right? This is apps org. This should actually be apps org Pong. And this would be org Pong administrator. No big deal. Just forgot to put quotes around org Pong, I think, when we set it up. And I'll correct this as well. But we got what we needed. And this should also relate to this permission set. And it does. Okay. So minimally, we've set up a permission set for an administrator of the app. Probably could have an extra step in here to grant. Oh, you can't. Why doesn't it work that way in a Scratch org? I don't know. Permission set group assignment. Oh, okay. We need to. Let's force our changes here. We haven't done anything scary here. All right, so we got all that set up. So then what we would want to do is be able to create a new object, which would look like this. We would create a new tab. See, it generates generate tab. We have to pick an icon. We need to add the object reference to the metadata. So for right now, that we'll another episode, another time, we'll come back and do this. I'll build some stuff manually from here on out. But I really want to keep like developing this kind of scaffolding concept for app dev, because I do the same things over and over and over again. Need an app, need a permission set, need a group, need a boop, boop, boop. When I create an object, it should generate some permission stuff too, and magic assignment and whatnot. Fields, they need to get applied to permission sets as well. So trying to use the this DX org or the DX project to run all that stuff seems like a good idea to me, and a fun little exercise. Okay, Pong. We need a thing that how does Pong work? Right? Pong game, right? You play 1972. Wow. Do you just play forever? Does Pong just go on and on and on, nonstop? Development history. The history of Pong is that's something. Okay. Players use paddles. We're not really going to use paddles, or maybe we will. I don't know. can log into one org, and it's it's your turn to play. We'll see here. Okay, hit the ball back and forth. 11 points. Okay. Earned when one fails to return the ball to the other. All right, cool. So there is a score. So we need a game. We need some notion of a game to send back and forth, and then scores on those games. So probably a turn, right? Some kind of maybe just a game and a turn object. Sounds pretty familiar. Done a lot of these. Well, I'm sure we'll come up with some other stuff along the way. But well, let's start there. Need a game. So a game will represent two orgs playing Pong against each other. Report, sure. Search, tab. Let's make a tab. Nope, didn't want to do that. Let's see, our game. Make it look like. Where's that map? Sure, let's do that. Tab hidden, because we don't want anything to see it. We are going to include it in org Pong. Did I hit save? Yep. One more box to check here. User management settings. Let's turn on the field level security. Just makes life a lot easier, because we do have to go back into our. So I create an object, and then my pattern here is to, which again I would love to have this working. I want to create the object, and then I create a permission set for each object. Bear with me. Create a permission set for the object, and then define a level of access to that object. So full level access, read only, read write, delete, not able to delete. So you probably have a few permutations of that. And that last week's episode, we talked about CRUD VAMA, which was we all know CRUD and view all and modify all. So there's your VAMA in CRUD VAMA. Ridiculous, but there you have it. So I think there's the intent was, once you have permission sets for by object by access level, now we use the permission set groups as personas, if you will, and then we say, all right, an org Pong administrator, they get everything, right? They're super duper user. Maybe, but when I get to an org Pong player, they can create games, they can create turns, they can update turns, they can't delete them. So that's an example of using, and so there would be two different permission sets generated for the game object in that case. And I'd love to be able to come in and say, create a new object. When you create a new object, it does the super user by default. And then if you wanted to add more, you could, I don't know, put a string of comma separated string or something to say, hey, here's everything that I want you to create, or be able to come back and create them later. We won't do that now. We'll do this kind of the slow-mo way. And but you kind of see how the pattern plays out. So I just created that object, our game object. So now I've been just trying to follow a convention. I had this philosophical argument with myself last week. Is it super user or is it admin? Maybe it's just admin, right? So game admin. Game admin. All right, so now we're going to add the object to this permission set. There's our game. Okay, full access for our admin. I'm sure we're going to add more fields at some point. Okay, so all that, well, and then one more step, right? Then we go to the group, the administrator group, and we would add that in here. So you can start to see that the permission set group becomes a collection of a large amount of permission sets, but these permission sets are very focused in what they do. So they're more flexible, right? I can dole these out with more granularity, kind of bridging the gap between all this information is stuck on a profile. With the introduction of groups, I think it's important to now not have everything stored on one permission set, right? I used to do that. I'd make a game or some app, and then I'd have 3 different permission sets, maybe, app, admin, user, viewer, something like that. And then they would all have basically the same permissions, right? And that kind of defeats the purpose. It's easy to build it all in one place and then duplicate it out, but I think with the groups, it gives us another layer of separation, and we can do much more granular stuff, which to me, feels more. There's more moving parts, but it feels a lot more manageable as we continue to build it out. Because at some point, you're just going to run into the same issue with permission sets as you're running into with profiles. It's like, well, I need this permission set, but it has 2 less features than this other permission set. Well, if we were more granular, we could build it with groups, and you just get more modularity that way. Okay, so anyway, we built objects game admin. My user has access to make games now. Let's make I think we need a turn. Might be the only 2 objects we need. Okay. Reports, sure. Maybe we don't need a tab for this because it's just going to be a parent of the game. And let's do that now. Master detail. If the game doesn't exist, the turn probably doesn't need to exist. So that is going to end up on our indirectly on our game admin because it's a master detail, so we've made it required, but it's not really there. Okay. All right, so now we got our turn object, and I built it out a little bit. We need a turn admin permission set. Okay, and put that in our group. You can see steps, they're the same over and over and over again, at least when I first create an object. So we'd love to be able to just have this happen, at least for the admin role or persona, I should say. Okay, so org Pong administrator, they can access the app, and they have full access to the objects. Cool. Now what? What are we gonna? Let's see. The game. It's just a game, right? And to see what else we have for that. So what would we need to do to let the other org know? I'm sending you this. I'm sending you this game. I'm sending you this turn, really, or it's more like I send you the game. Hey, we're gonna play a game, and here comes the turn that that's related to that game, and then the other org receives that, and that's the turn is really did the sending org get or say, did the receiving org hit the the ball, the ball back over. So I think it's let's see, let's think about turn. I and then it comes back. Is that the same turn, or is that another? Is that a new turn? Right. We have to think about where does it initiate from. I think so. We might need to know, I guess, what org initiated, and report back a score, probably, or at least report back. Well, let's see. With Pong, I think if the other player misses, you get to start. I think that's a rule. Is there like an online Pong game we can play? Pong game, one player, mouse, easy. Oh, you can see how good I am at this. Oh no, the ball just kind of. Well, let's see. If I let it go by, nope, doesn't matter. Favored me. All right, favored the opponent. This is pretty good for easy, I'm just going to say. Uh-oh, my mouse stopped working. Oh no, I'm off the screen. What am I doing? Can't get one past them. There we go. All right, so then I served when they serve when I miss. Nope, I missed and I served. I think it doesn't really care whose turn it is because the opponent, the robot missed, and then it was my serve. Then it was their serve. Does it go back and forth? My serve, their serve. Okay. My serve, their serve. So it just goes back and forth. Okay, much like the game. My serve. Oh, my thing's out of the screen again. My serve, their serve. Yep. And this will be whether I miss or not. Hey, I won. That was great. Super good at this, joining the professional tour. Yeah, some other cool stuff. Play solitaire. What? Solitaire Bliss. Groovy. But not right now. What just happened? Okay, so according to this game, anyway, the rule of Pong is the starting for a new round, it just swaps back and forth. So it's not really it's not like tennis, winners outs or something like that. It's literally just this turn is going to be this org. The next turn is going to be for the other org. Do we have to track the volleys between these two? We could. I mean, why not? We do dumb stuff on the show. Like that's usually where we end up at. So if within a turn, there could be a volley. And from that volley, Trying to think. So our Pong1 org is going to say, let's play a Pong game. It needs to send that to org2 to let them know that we're playing a game. Org2 needs to store that. I think it needs to store that Pong game as a record of its own. We've got to think about how we keep these in sync. I feel like we're going to need some kind of external ID situation here that's maybe like a shared key between two orgs. But anyway, Pong1 says, hey, we're playing. So it posts data to org2. And org2 receives that. I think we're talking REST API here, by the way, from one org to the other. I hope we can do REST API. Can we do REST API? Or do we need to expose some endpoints for this? Can we do REST API? I know we can connect the two orgs, but could, given the nature of a record that comes across, I guess as long as we have a very literal structure to our requests, which it will be. There's only going to be so many fields on this on these games and turns that it should be okay for us to collect that. I think we'll see. But let's start with the. I feel like so. I think we've got a couple objects here. We've got to think about where does scoring happen. Maybe we don't need to indicate the volley. Maybe the turn just helps us. It helps us know what the score ends up being. Right, so it's this person, then that person, this person, that person. I'm sorry, this org, the other org. And then, I mean, is there some way that we could, like, how do we know if the org hits or not, right? That's probably just going to be some kind of random thing, if I had to guess. So let's see. What have we got here? What is moving around right now? Let's see. Pong1 sends new game to Pong2. Pong1 sends turn to Pong2. Pong2 receives turn and either hits or misses. Pong2 tells Pong1 the outcome on turn record. Oops, Pong2 tells Pong1. Let's see. If Pong1 receives hit, then Pong1 either hits or misses. If Pong1 receives miss, then Pong1 plus 1 point. I almost wonder if we actually need the turn object. We could if we wanted to be really exhaustive. But in this case, it's really a question of when it's sent over, did a hit or a miss come back? And then we need to indicate that a new. Do we need to even indicate that a new round started? We may not need to. The receiving, or let's see, I send a game over to Pong one, or from Pong one to Pong two. Pong two receives that, pretends to hit the ball. If it hits it, it sends that back to the org, and the value, the score is still 0. If it misses it, it turns the score up to 1, and then it hits it over. And then when the receiving org sees that come back, it says, "Oh, I got 1 point." You only score if you miss, and then in this case, the opposing org is going to give you the score back. So I think the only other thing we need to do is think about, we're gonna have two. We need 2 scores, right? Right. Org 1 score and org 2 score, and those orgs need to know who they are. So I think that's something that we'll need to consider, maybe in the setup of the app. Maybe there's a custom setting or a custom metadata on either side that says what org are you, or maybe it's in the flow that runs all this stuff. You give your org a name. So I don't think we need the. I'm going to get rid of the turn. I'm going to get rid of the turn object. Yeah, let's just not do it. Let's see if we can how far get away with the game. And I'm starting to second guess myself. Do we really want to do that? Maybe it's better to. Let's see. The benefit of having a turn is that it just indicates what action took place. What if we looked at it a little differently? What if we said, so this still happens, right? Pong 1 sends a new game to Pong 2, so they both know that they're playing. Pong 2 sends a new turn to Pong 2. Pong 2 receives the turn and either hits or misses. 2 tells 1 about the outcome. If it's a hit, then Pong 1 either hits or misses. And if it's a miss, then it's plus 1 point for Pong 1. The turns are nice because we can manage that back and forth without so maybe each turn. All right, so let's say Pong 1 dot new game goes to Pong 2. So now they both know about their game. Pong 1 to new turn goes to Pong 2. And that's either a hit or a miss. So whoever sent it, the receiver is the player. Is that right? Receiver is the player, or is the org that has to, they either have to hit or miss, right? So the Pong 2 org has to hit or miss this turn that it was sent. And if it misses, that turn is over. If it hits, then it goes back to Pong 1, right? So then this is Pong 2, the turn. Goes back to Pong 1. And then Pong 1 either has to hit or miss. And then this can go on kind of forever until, let's say, Pong 1 sends the turn back to Pong 2. Dot miss. So this is dumb pseudocode. It's nothing real. If Pong 2 misses, then they store the turn here as a loss, and it goes back, right? So Pong 2's turn dot miss equals Pong 1's the turn dot win, right? So okay, there's another thing here. You either hit, win, or lose a turn. Hit means the thing is still going. Lose means I lost and I'm telling you that I lost. And that becomes a win on your side. So this is really hit or you're really either hitting or losing, right? So the turn, if Pong 2 loses, then Pong 2 has to tell it lost to Pong 1, and therefore it won. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think that's right. So hit is just, it's still alive, right? So every turn, whoever receives the turn, they're either going to report back that they hit it or they lost. And if it comes back as a hit, then again, the receiving, in fact, we could send the first turn, the first turn status, basically. We're going to need a status field, sounds like, is a hit from wherever it originated from. And then it just remains a hit until one side loses, and then they have to tell the other side that they won. So that, I think that will take care of the win-lose of each turn. That will help with the score of wins and the sums of wins and the sums of loses. And I think we just need a excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. The challenge I'm having is the turn represents both sides of the equation of the game. Excuse me. So saying who's player 1 and player 2, or org 1 and org 2, is a little tricky, right? Deep thoughts. Well, let's start somewhere, right? Let's start by getting the game. Let's start by having Pong 1 send a game to Pong 2 to let them know, let's play a game, right? It also feels like we need to have like a little bit of request and response here. So I'm going to send that, and then Pong 2 needs to report back and be like, yep, cool, we're playing a game. So we're basically building HTTP protocol between two Salesforce orgs, which I'm not an expert on. I'm sure this has probably been thought through 1,000 times before, but you know, we're gonna figure it out together. Okay, but yeah, I think that's what we, what we're some kind of a pattern we're gonna have to use. All right, so we need to get these two orgs talking is really what we need here. So I'm actually going to open up. Let's see. To get them both talking, we need them both open. All right. Energy customization is org 1, and speed platform is org 2. Yes. Okay. I think hopefully we can remember that. All right. If I want org 1 to talk to org 2, I'm pretty sure I need to set up a connected app. All right, which means I need to set up a new app. Manager. Let's see. In order to do this, we need. I just did this in another project. Yeah, so we need a connected org in the destination that represents itself. So we're going to call this Pong 2. Okay. And we do need OAuth. We're going to need a callback URL, but I don't know what that is yet. I think we can guess. I think we can guess at what it's going to be, though. It's going to be. Let's look at the my domain of this org. So I'm over in Pong 1 here. So let's see. It's going to be this crazy thing, and then there's usually there's kind of a standard to this. So this exists here because we're then going to have an auth provider in Pong 1 that points at Pong 2. This connected app details, and then the two will be able to play nice with each other. So this is, let's see, services, auth, callback, make that wider. Services, auth, callback, / and then it's whatever we're going to call it in the other org, which is going to be Pong 2. And then we need to grant some rights here. We need to grant the API scope. Grant API, and let's grant refresh token. I think just those two. And then I think that's it. Do we have to do anything else funky? That's going to give us a key that we can share with the auth provider in Pong 1. So this should be good. Whoop, invalid protocol. What? Oh, right. That's important. 10 minutes to make change. That's fine. All right. So we have to flip flop this too. So extra fun. Pong 2 is now set up as a connected app. Let's go over to Pong 1 and look at our auth providers. And this is going to be Salesforce, I think. I got another project that here. This is going to be. Yep, we're going to get the key from. Okie dokie. So we're going to, let's call this Pong2. So we're now telling our Pong1 org that it can go do this thing. The token URL is the, I think we have that over here somewhere, I think. Thought we did. Manage? No, where does that show up? That's a standard, it's a standard URL. It looks like this, but we just need the my domain. So I'll get the my domain from org2, Pong2, and we'll take this. So that's going to be here. That is /OAuth2. It's basically what we see. Or services, right? Services /OAuth2/authorize. And then the same thing here. This is token. Same scopes. Let's do those three. That's the same as what we set up before. And I think that is it, I think. We need the auth provider so we can create a named credential, or I guess an external credential, and then a named credential so our flow can do the talking. So we're going to have this one way for right now. Oh, we need the key and the secret from the other org too. Forgot about that. Let's go back and find those. Come on. I have no idea where we are right now. App manager, Pong2. Okay. I have no idea. Oh man, this is always my favorite. Oh wait, no, it's verification code. I should have that somewhere. Here, maybe. Restore, sure. Verify it's me. Yes, please. Verify, yes. Okay, got a code. All right, now don't y'all go and doing anything crazy with my consumer keys here. Okay. Auth provider is set up. Connected app. This is pointing at Pong2. Yep. And then this is the Pong2 app that the auth provider is connecting to. So I think that gives us everything we need to create named credentials. Now, here's the thing. I don't have passwords for any of these users that I'm currently using, so we're going to have to do that. Pretend like I know how to do that over here. And then come back on screen and show you my genius. That is Google searching off screen. Just generate password, right? Yep. This is in Pong 1. I'm going to need this. I really need it in Pong 2 first, so we can set that up over here. There's Pong 2. Okay, so here's our user. I think we can even just say Pong 2, right? Yeah, generate password. sf org generate password. Okay. Super secret password for Pong 2. If you're following along, there you go. Get in the organ break stuff or something. Okay, so we're going to need that. I'm also going to need the username because I'm not going to be able to find that again. So there's the creds to get into Pong 2. So if I am back in Pong 1, let's make some name credentials. I think we need an external credential first, right? We'll call this Pong 2. I think it's browser flow. I need to learn more about these other ones because maybe there's a better way to do this. I just haven't explored this in a while, but we'll go with this browser flow. I don't know if I actually need to pass these because the scopes are already defaulted, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So that's what we want there. Okay, and then let's do a new principal here because we're going to do a named principal. This is to Pong 2. I'm going to put the same scope out there, save that, and then I think we can authenticate here. Auth. Now we put in our Pong 2 creds. Is that right? Speed 2, right? That's my... Is it just not ready yet? It brought me to the right place. Did I get everything right? Oh, no, it's the wrong user. Hold on. Wait a minute. I generated a password for Pong 1. Hold on. Let's do this. There we go. This would be correct. Try again. There we go. All right. So it's a little confusing because it's saying, hey, Pong 1 or Pong 2 is asking to do stuff. But it's really Pong 1 asking Pong 2 to, let it in and do API Mojo. So we say yes. Now we're back over to Pong 1. Huzzah! We have that. We have that connection. We are good to go. So from here, we should be in the clear to act as our Pong 2 admin and throw requests over to Pong, from Pong 1 to Pong 2. And then it's going to get super fun when we have to come back the other way and get all this kind of sorted out. Before we do that, let's take a little break. I got to grab a drink and maybe a quick bite of food because it's like late lunchtime here. So pause, engage the be right back button. There we go. And I will stop making noise and stop showing you my face. And we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay tuned. This is me messing around with audio. I don't know. Does maybe it's this one? I wonder if that's the one that I. Can you all hear that? I think I literally have to get on my own stream to see if I can hear what the stream is streaming. Let's find out. Hello? Hello? Hey, it works. Hey, it works. Well, hey, how about that? Hey, hey, Ruth. I can see your messages. I can't do anything with them in LinkedIn, but I see them, and I'm going to actually attempt to pay attention to the chat window from here on out. Would you look at that? Let's go ahead and just open that, shall we? There we go. All right, hopefully those will show up there now. Thanks for checking my audio. I hope it's not ridiculous, but I don't know. All the hip kids put put audio on their streams, so just trying to be a Reese. Oh my God! Yes, it's not Ruth. Who would call you Ruth? That's like nobody calls you that except me. Well, thanks for hanging out. Let's see. Where are we in the midst of our org to org communication conundrum here? Okay, we have. We're in. This is Ping. I'm sorry. This is Pong 1. This is Pong 2. We have auth provide. We're good. I think on the Pong 1 side of the equation. Yeah. So we are named credentialed up. I have to do some. Yes, that's true. To this day, I would still call you the wrong name, as indicated by what I just did on the show. But Reese Smith is here, not the Reese formerly known as Ruth. That's your name now. All right, named credential. Well, this is an external credential, so let's back up here. External credential, good. So what we're going to end up doing here is using the REST API to shuttle some data over to from Pong 1 to Pong 2. So let's see how much luck we can have here. We need to create data. Oh, Okay, that was weird. We need to create some data from one org to another. And I need to find the reference. Oh, do I still have... Do I still have the... I probably don't. Looking for... Just looking for... I thought I had it over here, but... all right, what are we looking at here? Salesforce, REST API, create record. There we go. So we gave the let's retrace our steps here. The external credential knows about the the root, right? It knows about the root of the org that we're going to work with. So if I look at the REST API, it's this part. Now we're going to tell our named credential that it's got to do some work here. I don't know if we can make this dynamic in the named credential. Maybe we can. Maybe we just need to get it up to the level of the version, or the API version. Let's try that. So from my external credential, I'm going to make a named credential. I'm going to call this Pong 2 REST API. And I think I have to do this. REST is an acronym, so let's use good. Okay, so we need the full path for that. No. Looking for my domain for org2. So I guess we do need to give it the whole shebang here. Oops. Okay, so we'll use that as like the base URL for callouts to the Pong 2 REST API from our Pong 1 org. Generate header, allow formulas in header. I don't think we need that. Formulas in body. I don't think we need that. I just want to kind of fast forward to when we actually have to use these. What flexibility do we have in the URL? Let's go find out. Let's start a flow. Screen flow for now, I guess. So we don't really even need that yet. New action, new call out. Let's see. Send new game. Right, there's our base URL. I think the name of the service and the name of the call are going to basically be the same. Because I don't think I can add to this after. Because if I really wanted to be, well, let's think about this a second. Can we? Let's go back over here. Let's take a look at external services. Because really, that whole HTTP callout thing that's what it's doing under the hood. It's making an external service for us. So, what does this look like? Hey, let's add one. Let's call this ooh, service schema. Can we get that from? I wonder. Salesforce external service REST API schema. Is that basically what it wants? Does it want the some path to where is that? I feel like I just saw that the other day. You can generate an open API document for the SObjects REST API. Show me how. Cool, this looks awesome. How do I do it? Enable the beta. Push a button. I think we have to push it in the destination though, right? User interface and select user interface, okay. And then enable platform REST API, open API spec. Let's do it. Then what? Generate the document. After the beta is enabled, generate the open API document by following the following steps. It's ironic that I have to send something to the REST API in order to get the stuff about the REST API. Do I have to pass it a body? Send a post here. The request body must be well, now that yes, I do have a named credential. So I guess we could, let's see. From Pong 1, let's just cobble together a call out somewhere. I was actually messing around with the bulk API, calling the bulk API from one Salesforce org to another. So we can use this, I think. We're going to Pong 2. And that's our base is here, so I think it's this. Right? think so. Post some JSON. I'm going to just literally make this the body. And think we're just going to put star in here. Try that. Let's try that. And what's the response? Okay, so it's going to give me the URL of where I can get the thing. Pass the Lars to get this. Okay. So we'll need a second call to get the actual specs based on the URL provided. All right. Oh, so it might still be cooking. Okay. I have no idea if it's going to do anything. Let's give it a shot. We probably should, you know, output the body here, at least debug it somehow. What do we think? Give it a shot? No, we don't need a body. We're writing our own body. Do it. Oh, yeah, this is my favorite thing that I always forget to do. I have to give access. Yeah, hold that thought page. Can I just upload the file? I can upload a file. All right, cool. I have to grant permission to those credentials. And I can never remember what they're called. We're going to call this a dumb thing for a second because I can't remember what exactly I have to apply here. External credential principal access. I think that's what we're after. Yes, okay. There's probably a better name, obviously, than ABC. What would we call that? I don't think we're going to see anything here, right? No. These are, I think this is old school permission or named credentials. I think this is the way they want us to, wait, did I not do that? Okay, let's rename this. EC, let's just say EXT cred, Pong 2. Something a little bit more descriptive. That's better. And then again, back to our permission set group. I'd really like to spell that all out, but whoops. Did I actually add it? No. I clicked on it. I find myself clicking on this when I should be clicking on this. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so now I have access to those external credentials. It's interesting, 'cause, like, even though I'm an admin, I can't use this stuff unless it's granted, which I think is good, but it definitely throws that whole process kind of throws me off each time I have to do it. So happy to be here doing it with all of you. Does that look right? I think so. Let's try it again. That was fast. Wait. Couldn't access the endpoint. Or the named credential Pong 2 might not exist. No, it totally does. Well, I thought we were good. What's going on? Wait a second. Did... You have the Pong administrator on the right user. We have the external credential here. I don't think there's anything else in this list. All right. Missing a step. Let's see. Let's go back to the external. Go back to the name credentials itself. Nothing to do there. Is there anything we can do on the external credential? We don't need any custom headers. I think there's anything else we can do here. Do I have the path right? Maybe that's what it's unhappy about. I don't think so. We're just going to async. Couldn't access the endpoint. You might not have the required permission. Or the name credential might not exist. Do I have the right name? Pong 2. Pong 2. I'm gonna hit it again. Pretend like nothing happened. What's going on? Well, we know it exists. Might not have the required permissions. I don't think that's true. What if we grant that permission set directly to the user? Maybe, does it not like groups for some reason? Kind of hope not. Is it? I don't like doing it this way, but maybe that's a thing. That's not the thing. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop open another org that I know I did this in. And I know it was working. You can't see that. Is it this one? Yeah. Pretty similar pattern here. Let's see. So we created an external credential, OAuth 2. The principal is configured. Now this is missing, this is excluding the, this. So maybe we just got to fix that. Maybe V60 is not what we should be using at all. Maybe that's part of the problem. The documentation is more up to date than. All right, big money, no whammies. No, that's not it. Which makes sense because it would fail later. But this is, I'm confused because this is identical right now. Let's see, my named credential. Oh, wait. Is it Pong 2 REST API? I bet you that's what it is. It's not the external credentials name. It's... I hope it's that. Yep. That was it. My bad. Okay. What do we do from here with this? I got a number. I hit another URL to get the thing. Looks like it. This is a what? This is a get now? All right, we're not posting, we're getting. I need that ID. I need this whole thing. I guess I really just need from here. And we'll turn this from a... Pretty sure I left something on that. Yep. From a post to a get. Do we have to pass anything else in? I don't think so. Take this out of there. All right, show us what you got here. Ooh, it's a big file. How do we make it not big? What if we just do this? Does that give us a little less? That's a big file. Okay. Can I just hit that now though? Like what if I go over here? Could I even get into the workbench? Maybe? Hmm. No, that's a different org. Let's try this. See if the workbench can get something out of. Oh, what? Is it because these? I forget. Are they treated as sandboxes? I can't remember. Well, we better go back and yeah. Workbench. I forget if it treats scratch orgs as sandboxes or production. URL. I mean. There we go. Sure. Okay. What's that endpoint? Let's go 59 here. Or not. Let's just leave it as 58. Can I like kind of sneak up on it here? Let's see. Service not found. Orchestration invalid. Ah, I see. But I can't hit 59. Okay, let's do this over. Let's request a new one, I guess. Hold on. We're gonna change this up. We're gonna make this 59. Not there though. Here. I gotta think about what the right path is for this. I'm not sure if it should start back further or leave the API version on or off. But either way, this should get us a 58 now. Okay. Go back over here and hopefully I'll just take the whole thing. What? No, that's not what just happened. I'm a little lost here, friends. Version 59 must match a version for retrieval, but I can't retrieve with 58. Huh. And it's just too darn big, so Well, anyway, let's... I'm going to cut this all the way back here. So now I can be sure that this is going to be the right, I hope, the right API version. It's still the same one. That's why. It's not generating a new one for us. It's still the same one coming back. What if I request in a different, with some different stuff? What if we just get this? I don't know if that's going to make it any smaller. Let's try that. Now, has anything changed here? Oops, I don't need that. No, those are still identical. So we have a big old file that we need to get access to, but can't seem to figure out how. Can I take this to the org? I don't know. I don't know if I can just hit this from a browser inside of the... Wait, that's going to be services, data. Nope. Maybe it did generate the same file again, just with the same name. I'm just going to copy all this so we... this goes at the end, and it's a get, and we don't need the resources. Still too big. I'm convinced that it, oh wait. I got version numbers. I got version numbers for your version numbers. Got to get all my story straight here. Let's try this again. I'm sure that's the same ID, but we hypothetically regenerated it. Still too big? It's very possible that we're like not, we're not actually getting anything new here. I'm going to try just the contact object. I got to believe that would be smaller, right? Maybe. Yeah, it's just kicking out the same idea over and over again. So I don't think we're getting... Oh. No, I don't think we're getting it. That's a bummer. Because I think that's what we need. Or ideally, it would make life a whole lot easier if we could just say, here's the... Unless I can do this, maybe I can pass the whole thing over? Seriously doubt it, but Give it a shot. Got that, and then we've got our, got this. Remote site setting. Well, why not? I doubt this is gonna work, but yeah, it doesn't know anything about the. Well, it knows about it here. That's curious. What if we do a relative URL? What if we do this? Oh, must be, oh man. How do you? It looks like it was trying, but holy cow, that was 10 million characters. What is this thing? I mean, that's promising, I guess. It's not an authentication error, but maybe this is why it's beta. It's so interesting because this is literally like what's old is new again, right? We used to get a XML schema out of Salesforce and then put it into our .NET app or whatever you were using, and then it would auto magically generate a bunch of stuff for you. And okay, a new API, open API, can only be generated every 6 hours. If you call it again within 6 hours, it just returns the same ID. If you select a resource that doesn't match any of the supported resources, you select a resource that does not have permission. The request does not fail, but the open API document will not contain the resource. Okay, so I got my one chance. It's too much file, so that's okay. We're gonna do this different. I'm not gonna be able to build an external service, but that's fine. Let's not do that. All right, we'll skip that. We'll go back to our flow builder and let's do the call out that we were. So this is send new game. I think that's what we're gonna call it. That's a bummer. I'm gonna follow up on that thing and see if actually we're gonna just go ahead and refresh this whole thing. Make sure that we got the right API version. All right, send new game. And I think this is send new game. So we're going to post this to a place that has that on it. And I do want to keep this. Might try that again later. So our post is going to be, I think this is going to work. We're going to go here. And we don't have these objects on the other end yet. So that's where it's going to go. Sample request. I have a feeling we're going to need our own key to to for as an external ID on this stuff. Let's use that. Yeah, let's treat. I got some Mojo that can generate like a unique key for us. Mostly, I just want to see if we can get a. Well, this is awkward. Har har har. I think I made a tab for Org Pong games. It's not out there yet. Okay, ABC 1, 2, 3. So then our sample call is going to look. It's going to look like this, but we can change it. Start there. Except we're not going to V60. I think we're going to V59. In that case, it probably does make sense to put it on the. And actually, we need the rest of it here. Services, data /V59. I think I would put all this on the named credential because then you could just change it all in one spot. Seems like that would make sense. All right, so send new game. I'm just going to literally put this in. Do I have to put it in quotes? That's weird. Do I have to? What is going on? I would love to give you a valid value. I don't know how. And so I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to pick that action. Okay, really? We went through all that. We didn't get it. It didn't save? Well, let's do it again. Oh, boy. Lost something along the way there. We have to give it the response to. Maybe that's what it didn't like. Maybe that's made it sad. Yeah. I think that was it. We didn't give it the response. I don't know what those errors are. Are they just strings? We'll find out. Oh, you're killing me. Let's see if I can delete it. So it makes an external service, right? That's Pretty sure my camera just froze in a state that looks like me picking my nose. That is super cool. Oh. Yeah, I think that was what happened. I swear I'm not picking my nose. Or, yeah. All right. There is no longer an external service with that name. Can I save this? Yes. This is nuts. What's going on here? I have 3 errors. Oh. That's fun. Oh boy. Wow, friends, I don't know what in earth is going on here, but this is not happy about us making this. So it's in here, so maybe we just need to start a new flow, and hopefully the action is in here somewhere. Because, wow, that was... I don't like that. This I don't understand. Okay. Maybe, I guess let's... Whatever, let's get some records. Get game. I'm just going to pick one off of here. Send new game. Okay, let's try our action now. What is the deal? You can't pick anything in here. What in the world is going on? I haven't. This is new to me, man. This the fact that I can't pick any variable in here just seems off, right? Like it just dies. So I guess let's. Well, no, I saved it. Let's refresh it, I guess. No, I don't want a screen. Stumped. 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 Sure, I'll select a new resource. Why not? Oh, wait a second. Do I need to create? I bet you that's. I bet you that's it. I bet you I got to create a new. This is the send new game request. Right. Okay. Because this is the body. We have to send the request body. So we have that. So then, but we have to let's name this better. Yeah. My bad. I forgot that we don't just populate the object. We don't populate the fields of the object. We have to populate the object, which let's see, set request. So this dot text dot. Well, that's neat. Huh. Okay. No, let's. I know it's not going to work. We don't have an object over there, but just for fun. Yep, 404. Okay. That's a little confusing. But I mean, I guess it's just to make sure it's not. It just doesn't like underscores, I guess. All right, so we need an object in Pong 2. We need a game object. I'm just going to build it the same way as it is in the source. Well, really, I could just pull these over into the project, right? That would be way easier. What are we going to need here? We want the app. Can I get these side by side a little bit? A little better. All right, so we're going to copy a bunch of metadata from the source, from org1 or from Pong1 over to Pong2. Let's give it the app. Let's take the permissions. Actually, you know what? Let's pull over here so we know we've got everything. There's well, I can pass at everything, I think. Except for the credential stuff. The right, we got the app. What on earth happened there? That's super weird. Let's copy objects over. Game and turn. Permission set groups. I'll take all that. Permission sets. Oh. Stop it. There we go. I think that's everything. We have our flow, but we're not doing anything with that yet. All right, let's push this. Maybe. Hmm. Well, you're not exactly telling me what you did here. Try one at a time. That's probably going to fail. It's referencing objects that, yeah, doesn't know about the objects. That works. Let's do the permission sets. Oh, custom tab. That's why. So it probably would have worked if we had included. No, stop it. I don't know what's about to happen. Hey, we have a file. Goodbye. It's the game tab. That's, yep. Okay. Let's just try to deploy again. I'm going to guess that was the issue. Feels frozen again. I think my I think I got a device that's losing its will to live here. Hey, we're back again. It failed again. All right, fine. Let's we'll do it the hard way. Tab works. Permission set works. Oh. We got this reference here. That would do it. I am having a hard time typing. There we go. Yay. Okay. So everything that was in our source org is now in our destination org. Pong 2. So we should be able to... Let's make sure we set the permission set group. All right, so aside from the external credential connected app hustle, these two orgs have the same, the same stuff in them. So our flow should actually be able to create a record now. And it did. Oh. Oh, we got the same name glitches as before. How did I do that? How did I manage to do that a second time? What did I copy that didn't like that? You know what? I bet I didn't pull. I thought I did though. That's okay. Navigation. Maybe I just didn't pull the app, I guess. It was weird, because I swear I did a full pull, but anyway. Games, look at that. Game. I didn't pull the layout, so. Throw the key out here. Here we go. All right, this should definitely be game with key ABC 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got to make our own key because the two systems aren't going to know anything about each other, and the Salesforce IDs will be useless between the two. So for now, we got a manual, situation going on. But if we want to update, a key, it's really more. It's an upsert, right? We have to do. We would want to upsert the key. Excuse me, the key. Or maybe we just we set ourselves up so we're not in a place of having to upsert, right? So this is a spork. I don't know why I picked this up. This isn't just a spork, everybody. This is my time machine spork. That's right. Tune in next week. I may have some to give away, but everybody needs a time machine spork. Okay, so the game goes from Pong 1 to Pong 2. Sent to Pong 1. The response that comes back is an indication that, good, bad, or ugly. What did we get back, actually? 200. That's what we want. No errors. If I can get it to blow up. I really can't. It's like kind of... Without adding some weirdness to it, I don't think I can get it to blow up. Excuse me. But, so if we can get that external service schema thing going, we could just ask for like the key, the game object, the turn object, and hopefully have everything we need there. But let's see. This game went over to org2. And so now it's I guess we could say, hey, if you get a game, if somebody requests a game from you, you get to go first. Does that sound fair? So then I would have org2 when it sees a new game created. We would have it send the what? We would have it send send a turn back, right? Let that player volley, basically, or let that org volley back to get started. So we would create a flow over here. Now we're in Pong 2. We're going to have that fire when the game is created. And when that happens, we'll have this respond. By creating create a turn. Oops. Okay, so go ahead and activate that. I'm sure there'll be more to do. And then, oh, there goes video again. I'm going to give up on this here in a minute. All right. New game, create turn. Time to have some fun. Okay, that's so. Pong 1 sends a game. Pong 2 inserts the game. When the game is inserted, Pong 2 creates a turn. When the turn is created, Pong 2 sends it back. We don't have an action yet because now we need to do the setup back to from Pong 2. Pong 2 now needs an auth provider that is Pong 1. So we're going to go back over to Pong 1 and create an external service, which is a connected app. I'm sorry, not an external service, a connected app. And then this callback is going to be from Pong 2. So we need Pong 1's. Oh no, this is gonna go back to Pong 2, right? This is the callback coming back over here. And again, I need the my domain stuff. And we're gonna call this. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. Wasn't fast enough with the mute button on that one. This will be to. Yeah, this is going to be Pong 1 because this is Pong 2 sending it back to its Pong 1 auth provider. Whew. A little confusing. Okay. Now over in Pong 2, we need an auth provider. Let's see, we still need those scopes. Oh, right, we need the, I need to go back here and get my domain for Pong 1. And I think, oh, the keys, right? So the keys from back over here. And now I need a, oh, you know what? No, I did that, didn't I? Probably can't see it now, but I think where can we get it? We can get it from the user details, right? SF org. User. How do you org display? How the heck do you get a user? Org list users. Ooh. Then you can get some detail, right? Org display user. What do I have to pass that? Yeah, okay, there's our password. Wait, I just need the verification code. I did that last time. Let's find our verification code here. There we go. All right, copy the key. All right, so now we got auth providers in each direction. And we got connected apps in each direction, so we can do our name credential thing. This is Pong 1. Get those scopes in there again. Okay, principal. Did I click that? I don't think I liked it. Is that weird? Why can't I click that? Okay, there it goes. So now we're authenticating to Pong 1. Maybe we don't. Maybe we haven't given it enough time. Invalid scope. Requested scope is not allowed. I disagree. Oh, good Lord. Ah! Maybe this is why it was flaking out. Let's see here. Oh, I picked par.ap. What am I doing? That's not helpful. So close. Should we test the 10-minute limit on this thing? Let's try it again. $10 pshaw. That looks better, I think. Yep. Okay, so now we can, okay, so send turn, right? We are now going to make another. Oh wait, did I finish? I don't think I finished my name credentials here. This is Pong 1. And again, let's get that Pong 1 domain. Actually, it was right there, wasn't it? Right here. How did I set this up on this side? Just the root. Yep, just the root. I really should rename that so it's. Okay, so now I got name credential over here. If I start a name credential, is it going to see it? Yes. Okay, so this is send turn. So we're going to post that back. Wanted to see. Yep, here. This will be turn. And insert a new turn. The turn. So this is fun because the turn doesn't know about the game key. So what does that end up looking like? I think it doesn't have a key, actually. I think it looks like this, if I remember right. That was neat. What just happened? So I think if we pass this, it will recognize that key is an external ID, and it will map the turn to the game whose key is ABC 123. I think. We'll find out. Response is going to kind of look the same. All right, send turn. Now I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last time. We actually need a new resource for, this is, call this send turn request body. There we go. Now, we have our turn, so we have to prep this call. We are 4 minutes and counting. Can we do this? Set request body. And this key equals this records games key. Save it. Oh, we got to put that on a future path. That's right. Yep. Actually, I don't want to, we don't need that. We want to do this. Come on. You're killing me. Three minutes. Let's see. Can we do it? We want to check this magic box. Do I have a turn? I didn't bring the layouts over. That's okay. So we don't have a turn. Can we do this super quick though? Because let's do it over here. Let's see. Speed coding. Let's find the game that we passed over. All right, we have a turn. You wouldn't know it, but we do. Let's see. Let's run this. Is it gonna let us pick a? Yep, pick the turn we just created. Come on now. Come on. 1 minute. There you are. Turn 0. Go. Okay. Right. All right. Edit. Can I do this over here? And then will it be on the other side? Let's find out. You're going to make me search for this every time, huh? Probably because it doesn't have a tab. So I guess we'll never know about the other side of this. All right. Well, so close. We will finish this up, and we will get these two orgs sending stuff back and forth. But I gotta go. I gotta get to a meeting. And thanks for who hung out, and thanks for who watches later. And I'm gonna take off. Hope you guys like the background music, and see how that's a thing we should do again in the future. But I'm Tom. Can't do this on Salesforce. Can't do that on Salesforce. See ya. Thank you. Bye bye.